Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Flash, and this is... No, I'm not Glazer, and this is not Gaming with FlashX channel. This is Snap Judgments, and I am filling in for our homie Glazer, who is taking a well-deserved vacation. Enjoy that, my friend, and we'll be right here holding things down until you get back. So, as always, we got a bunch of great videos, but before we get into any of that, as always, please, let's take care of this housekeeping stuff. If you're enjoying this content, nobody is doing what Glazer does over here at Snap Judgments, giving you daily Marvel Snap content, decks from around the world of Marvel Snap that you are ahead of the meta. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, do all those fun things, right? And there was a slide after this that had like a fun giveaway thing. It's not in here. Don't worry about it. We'll figure this out as we go along. But there is a season pass giveaway, and every day, one of these videos here, we have a fun question of the day, and that'll be later. That'll be later. I'll ask you something about something, and we'll go, right? You know, come on. Those of you familiar with me know how we do things here. But that being said, let's get right into why we're here, right? Check these decks out. These fun decks from around Marvel Snap. They're really good. First up, we have this Fer Sheri build, and no, Shuri is not dead. The good homie Fer Snap has this great Shuri build, and it's fundamentally doing the things that you want to be doing with Shuri, which is, as you can see here, the usual stuff, right? Shuri, Taskmaster, a Hulk. We've got two of them in here, but there is that thena Kitty Ravonna package here that works oh so well, as you are well aware of at this point. So you can check out the homie Fer Snap at twitch.tv/Fer_Snap. He's amazing. Go check out his stuff. Red Hulk. Now, I did most of this, to be fair. Some of this might be wrong, but we'll go from there. We'll get there. Red Hulk can be Magneto or Goliath, in my opinion, because you just want that big thing. I know Red Hulk is a scaling threat, but in this, you know, in a Shuri build, you can really just have a singular big thing. It just wants the power in this case, right? Nocturne can maybe be Jeff? Question mark? It's not as good, yes. And obviously, and I say it's not as good because Nocturne gives it like Shuri a bailout target, where it's like, yeah, it's just 10 power that can move somewhere. That's still just really good, okay? Yes. Thena can be Angela, but that is definitely not as good in this particular build, I think. You want the Thena because you're really just playing two cards a lot of these turns. Shuri and a thing, whether it's Shuri, heck, sometimes it can be Shuri and Kitty, right? On the same turn, in fact, but that last turn is a lot of the times a singular thing plus something else. You're just doing two things a lot of times, so which is why Thena is very good in this build. You need Ravonna. I'm sorry, you just do. She's Series 4. You should have Ravonna. You should have Ravonna. In some of the games that I've played, Fer had like over 80% with this, and I pulled a couple of other folks, and I played some games with them. We were still clipping around 70% win rate, so it is very good. You want Nebula down first, right? Which is better than Sunspot, which is better than Kitty, because you don't need Kitty turn 1, but again, you kind of gonna play with whatever you have in this particular order. Turn 2, you're getting right into Ravonna stuff. Or Thena or Armor. Like I said, in that order, you want Ravonna down first, because then that allows you, it activates all of these other things, especially when you're talking about discounted Shuri, discounted Taskmaster. There's a lot happening here. Turn 3, Hope. Hope above everything else, because Hope is one of your major activators. She allows you to, along with Ravonna, activate so many more things going along for the rest of the game. Of course, that's better than Nocturne. Other option is Thena plus a 1-drop. Namely Kitty here, but it can be any of the other ones that you didn't play already. After this, which point it gets dicey. So as far as your 1-drops go, turn 4, Shuri on the Hope lane, right? Because now you're accelerating that extra energy. You're getting that extra energy from Hope. That's your ideal play on turn 4. If you have a discounted Shuri from Ravonna, even better, because then you can open up a number of different things you can do on turn 5 or thereafter, right? Or like I said, it could be a 3-drop plus a 1-drop. Okay, if you didn't hope the turn before, this is a turn where you can hope plus a 1-drop, probably your last opportunity, your good opportunity to play a 1-drop not named Kitty Pryde. Okay. If you've been playing Kitty, this is a very good turn to drop Hope plus Kitty again. Excellent. Because if you've Shuried now on going into turn 5, if you've Shuried on turn 4, you can play either of your Hulks because you've played it on the Hope lane. Keep that in mind. You can now play a 6-drop on turn 5, which opens up the usual turn 6 play line of Taskmaster, and you can still have a 1-drop available to you to do that. Again, if you're playing all this on the Hope lane, you have a lot of different play lines opened up. It's a very strong deck. Give it a shot. Like I said, we went over the replacements. It has a standard Shuri line, but it has a couple of pivots, which are very good, and multiple win conditions, as you know, in the game of Marvel Snap is just very good. So let's get into the next thing here, which is the stream team, which I'm a part of, by the way. So this is where we have, Glazer has tasked a lot of great people from around the community to help out giving him gameplay for these videos, for these decks. And today is, I don't even know what today is. What's today? Thursday? Today is Thursday. So we have my good friend, Parry Manilow here at 6 o'clock to play, these decks very specifically. And he's going to do a great job playing them. And from myself, there is going to be a video up from yesterday's videos, which were Wednesday, right? So I will be here playing this stuff on, this is really weird, I'm sorry. I'm going to be here playing this stuff on Wednesday, right? Streaming it. I'm going to have a video out, which is already out at time of this video going out. You can check that out at GamingwithFlashX over on YouTube. So, this is fantastic. So right into the next one, Arishem Galactus. This is, I believe, Chaos Pro. It's Arishem. It's Galactus. The usual suspects is Loki, okay? I know. I apologize. I'm sure you're sick and tired of Arishem this, Arishem that. But as Glazer pointed out, it's probably still the tier 0 deck in Marvel Snap. It is what it is. Now, does that mean it's unstoppable? No, of course not. Can you win with a lot of other decks? Absolutely. But this is the singularly strongest thing you can be doing in the game, with different shells around it, because the extra energy, that extra energy is what's making this the tier 0 deck, period. Gwenpool here can probably be Phastos. Arishem is required. Everything else you probably have, or you can do a version of in some way, shape, or form. It's leaning in toward the Galactus thing, right? Because you have the Galactus Destroyer stuff, right? That's been very popular, popularized in other ways. The big bad thing, right? The Null and the Galactus Goliath and Destroy. Blob is here too. Okay, the gang's all here. You know what most of this is, right? Turn 1, you play an Arishem card. If you don't have an Arishem card, guess what? You're passing. Turn 2 now, here's where things get fun. Because if you have Wave, you can play Wave on turn 2. Now, all of a sudden, if you have Galactus in hand, you're now playing Galactus on turn 3, which, as you can imagine, is absolutely nutty. Just busted. Galactus on turn 3 is just not fair. I know. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here. Okay. Now, of course, if you can't do that, I would recommend going Loki next, or Gwenpool if you have it. Loki on turn 3, if you have a nice clip of cards. Look, maybe you have cards that you're getting from Arishem that you can't play yet. They're big cards. Maybe they're not good, right? Maybe you're just like, let me hold, and you see what your opponent, now you have to assess. If you can assess what your opponent is playing and it is a good deck for you to Loki into, go ahead and Loki into it. Now all of a sudden, the whole game has changed. But provided that you haven't done that, you can Doc Ock on turn 4, or you can still Loki on turn 4. This is also a turn where you can Gwenpool, right? Depending on what your hand is looking like. You're playing Arishem. The turn by turn is completely random most of the time, okay? This is just a broad guideline that you pretty much are aware of at this point. Turn 5, Blob is better than Null, naturally. And turn 6 is Null or Goliath. Depending on what else you have, who knows? You want to... Obviously, Goliath helps you protect that Blob on turn 6, and you should be winning. You should be hopefully winning another lane at some point with the other things that you've done. But this is strong because it has a funky play line of being able to Galactus on turn 3. just don't get Galactus Brain. But wave turn 2 into Galactus turn 3 is, your opponent is probably not going to be able to stop that from happening. And wave is what, 5 power? So you might even have priority and you could just YOLO it anyway. So it is what it is. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Next up, we have Eeka. Gwenpool. This one I didn't even notice was there, but we threw some stuff together. I haven't got a chance to play this, but it looks good, except for the fact that I hate Pixie, but well, that's whatever. This looks fun, except for Pixie. But I understand why Pixie's here. You have some low cost things that if you flip, you can get a 2 cost Mockingbird. You can do some nutty stuff, a 3 cost Goliath. Who knows? Maybe you might be able to snipe a 1 cost Magneto. Pixie sucks. I'm sorry. You can check out Eeka, twitch.tv/Eeka_MTS. Eeka's great player, very cool individual. Check him out. Goliath can be Sasquatch because you have the Mysterio line in here where any turn you play Mysterio, the next turn Sasquatch is going to cost 3. That's very good. But Goliath is just very good. You need Gwenpool for this. This is the whole point. It's a Gwenpool build. Gwenpool can hit Mysterio. Go back, Flash. Gwenpool can hit Mysterio, which is absolutely nutty. I've had Gwenpool, and I've done it on stream. Gwenpool's hit Mysterio 3 times. All of a sudden, now you're talking about a 6-8, a really big Mysterio. Eclipsing Doctor Doom levels of power. You have the clones are 6 power. The Mysterio himself is 10 power. It's absolutely absurd if she does that, and I've seen it happen because I've done it. It's absolutely bonkers. And just very fun, right? Sersi can probably be Doc Ock here. She's just a good bailout if she can flip Gwenpool into something nice. If you're feeling nutty, she can flip Mockingbird if you've played Mockingbird out to the board. If you have an early Mysterio out, she's a wild card. If you just need to break glass in case of emergency, play Sersi, go ahead. If you don't have Sersi, Doc Ock is probably a good inclusion. It's just a thing people are doing. Again, I'm sorry. We're promoting Doc Ock. I'm promoting Doc Ock. Turn 1, Nico or pass. Because you don't want to get Echo out. You're not really tempoing Echo. You want to hold Echo where she's necessary. If you're finding you're playing against somebody where Echo is just not going to be good value or useless altogether, then just play her out for the board for just the sake of tempo and get her out of your hand. Or wait for maybe hitting her with Gwenpool. I don't know, whatever. Or not. Turn 2, Pixie over White Widow. I guess this is partially a Pixie deck, so the earlier you play Pixie, the better, because otherwise she's just wasting away in your hand. She's wasting away anyway. She sucks. Okay. White Widow, this is very good. If you don't have White Widow, I'm sorry. Put something else in here that's slightly disruptive, maybe just overall just good stats, because she's also just very good tempo, right? Like Medusa, but Medusa's way worse. Way worse. Turn 3, you want to go Mobius in this order. Mobius, Mysterio. Juggernaut is situational. Situational in the sense where you have to identify what your opponent is playing. If they're playing like stuff where they're filling out the board, maybe something sort of zoo, and you're not going to have an opportunity where Juggernaut is effective in any way, shape, or form late game, you're going to have to get him out early. Again, especially if you've played Pixie on turn 2, Mobius is definitely the first thing you want out because he's going to help you correct all of the cost crap that Pixie screws you over with when she turns your Nico into a 6 power card. 6 energy card, excuse me. She's going to turn your White Widow into a 5 cost. Turn 4, Gwenpool. Bam, plain and simple. Of course, if you don't have Gwenpool and you haven't done the other things yet, this is a turn where you could play Mysterio or Juggernaut or again Mobius, right? Turn 5, Sersi. Now, keep in mind, the game changes once you've played Pixie. This turn by turn, throw it out the window if you've played Pixie, right? Now, turn 6, Goliath or Magneto. They're the 6 drops. But again, if you don't have them in hand or you depending on how the board is going, you might Sersi and something else, right? Because your opponent is not necessarily expecting that. If it's a situation where you've saved the Juggernaut because that's how the game was going. This is an opportunity where maybe those aren't Alioth or Magneto aren't the winning play lines. It might be Juggernaut and, you know, something else. Might be Juggernaut and forgot what was in the deck. Mockingbird, right? Because if you've discounted Mockingbird, bingo, there you have it. I didn't mention any replacements for Mockingbird because this deck kind of needs that. If you play Mysterio Mockingbird is just in everything. Just dump Mysterio Mockingbird into almost any deck and bam, you're all of a sudden the deck got better. So play it, it's strong. Eeka's great. And last but certainly not least, we have the namesake here, right? What I have termed the best Ajax deck, right? Quote unquote. But don't quote me. But I think Cam is definitely onto something here with this because it's not necessarily an Ajax deck, but it has the Ajax, what you should now consider the Ajax package, which is Ajax and Hazmat. And as KM very astutely pointed out, just like a Nihilist, where that package was, you quickly figure out, okay, it's a Nihilist Sentry Hood, period. That's the package. It goes a lot of places. It's very strong. Same thing here. You have the Ajax, you have several packages here. And as everybody knows, if you've learned anything over the course of the life of Marvel Snap, multiple package decks that have strong win conditions are very good. This deck, Hazmat and Ajax package. You have the Mysterio Mockingbird package. You have the Thena, Angela, Kitty, Jeff, Nocturne, Hope package. This deck is very strong because it's doing multiple things that your opponent has to account for. Oh, by the way, Shang-Chi's here to clean up a lot of this. If you have these cards, this is not a, go run out and get Ajax, but I will not jump on the wagon of Ajax is trash because we've tried all of the dump Ajax into the most, stuff all those quote unquote Ajax cards into a deck and it doesn't work, so it sucks. Play it like this. That's where it's good. You should know where KMBest is. He's everywhere. Okay. A lot of stuff on YouTube. YouTube.com at KMBest in a snap. You should be well aware of KMBest at this point. Okay. This is a Hope Hazmat Ajax deck, right? It's got these packages. You need these cards. You're not playing this deck specifically if you don't have these cards. I'm sorry. You're just playing something else altogether. It's an Ajax deck, right? It has Ajax. It's built around that part of the package, period. Mockingbird can probably be She-Hulk, but that's not as good. Because if you do that, you're just taking out, you're possibly just going to go ahead and dump Mysterio also. Now you're changing it. Now you could do that. If you don't have Mockingbird, now all of a sudden you're testing your metal as a player and maybe building. So you're getting those creative like juices flowing where it's like, okay, let me see what else I can do because I don't have Mockingbird. Let me try to build something else. Like, figure it out. Get a little creative. It's okay. The game will forgive you. Nocturne is just good tech, but she can be good tech. Excuse me. The way I wrote it and read it back is funny. She could just be a good tech card, but of course that's worse. She could be Luke Cage, but that limits the power of your Ajax. Because remember, Ajax is working, was it asymmetrical? All the cards effective is adding towards Ajax's power. So like if you play Luke and limit your power, limit your negative effect, you're now making your Ajax much smaller. So I don't know if that's something you want to be doing. But if you don't have Nocturne, you got to put something in here, right? Red Guardian? I don't know. If you ask me for a good tech card, I'm going to tell you Red Guardian, right? Rogue? Who knows? Turn 1 Kitty. Period. As far as I remember, was she the only one drop in the deck? She's the only one drop here. Turn 1 Kitty. Turn 2, you got Angela. It's better than Thena, better than White Widow, better than Kitty, right? You want to get one of those 2s out on turn. If all else fails, play Kitty again. Turn 3, Hope is the primary card you want to be targeting. Of course, if you don't have Hope on that turn, you're going a 2-drop plus Kitty, right? Which is also better than Break Glass. The last turn thing you could do here, Nocturne, if you can't do any of the aforementioned things. Turn 4 is a carbon copy of what you could be doing on turn 3. It's the same thing. Just boop. Or Mysterio and Kitty. Because then you can get your Mockingbird out early if you need to or want to. It also gets Mysterio out of your hand and lets you go back to just playing 2 cards a turn to proc your thena. So, turn 5, Ajax. This is your turn to get Ajax out. Okay, you want Ajax out now. Yes, I know that puts the card susceptible to all of the things. Not Shang-Chi, but Rogue, Enchantress, Red Guardian. Okay, not so much Red Guardian, depending on what lane he's in, but definitely Rogue and Enchantress. Okay, just be careful. But it's the turn that you have to play the card, because if you wait till turn 6, you're not going to be able to do everything that you want to. Yes, if you play Ajax on turn 5, you're not going to. If you play something else onto Hope on turn 5, yes, you're going to have 7 energy available to you. You can still do Ajax and Hazmat. So if that's your game line, you can do that. Just read the board. Just read the board. It's very simple. Heck, if you're lucky enough, you might even be able to get, if you've gone Hope in earlier, you might be able to, just read the board. Okay. Last turn, it really depends on what you've played. I have Mockingbird or Shang plus Hazmat. If you've put Ajax down already, now if you have to do the aforementioned, then it looks more like if you've played something onto Hope turn 5, you're going Hazmat and Ajax. Boom. That's a lot of power. It's a crap ton of power. The board is filled on your side with a bunch of stuff. Your opponent has played pretty much all their cards. It's a lot of power. Ajax is pretty good in this deck. Give it a shot. If you're one of those people that you went out and you got Ajax and you're a little sad, play this deck. You probably won't be sad anymore afterwards. All right. So that was fun, right? We covered, I think I did everything the way it should be done. Question of the day. For the giveaway, right? Because, he's got to pick a person from each video. Who is your favorite Marvel character? I know that's cheesy, right? And probably asked at some point before by everybody, but this is a good time for everybody to know what mine is, because I like to answer these kind of questions on my streams. I'm a Wolverine guy. Those of you that know me, you already know that. I'm a huge fan of Wolverine. Oh, I think I left out part of the question. Who is your favorite Marvel character and why? Not just Storm, period. End of sentence. No, tell us why that's your favorite character. See, for me, it's like I love Wolverine. I love the X-Men. I just love that whole line of those characters are very closely related to reality in a sense. They deal with a lot of real world issues that a lot of people in the real world actually deal with. Being a mutant is it's so close to being, an oppressed people. So but Wolverine specifically, he's a loner. He cares, but he doesn't show that he cares. He's just going to carry the weight. He's going to do his thing. He'll be there when you need him. Period. End of story. And he will fight for what he believes is the correct thing. Whether it's right or not, based on whoever's logic, he will fight for it. So that's why Wolverine for me. And as always, please, if you are enjoying this content, support the homie. Patreon.com/snapjudgment. Get on over there. There's a lot of fun things. He does a lot of different things at the different tiers. I don't remember them off the top of my head. I know that if you do at least the $1 tier, you can get into the Snap Judgments League and play against people like me and Glazer and Super Tech God and all these people, all these amazing players that you feel like, yeah, I want to know how good I am against, such and such. Get on in there, get your $1 in there, join these amazing people. I have to do this rundown like how Glazer. Okay, to be fair, it's not going to be like how Glazer does it. First of all, it's going to be how Flash does it, which is without a bunch of the fun names. All right, so thank you everybody. From the top, Abigail Giesland, Mandatory Burnout, my man Cables. What's up, Cables? Absolute Chad. Irregardless, David G. Wingfield, Direwolf, LAB, FaThorNewman. What's up, Newman? Good Dog Gamer, This Is the Way, Inc., I Am Frostman, Jay Navarrete, Doomer, Primed Ryan, Caretix Lee, Coer, Pyrophoros, The Goat Seeker, Denman Falcon, my homie Denman Falcon. That dude is awesome. Love that dude. Quid Pro Joe, Doc D. We've got so many power on homies in here. Fat Nick, Ginger Prime, Philip Rakovich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone. I have to, because every time I hear it now, that's whatever. Rob Silverman, The Bizza, X-Force V, Skippy G, Tommy Nyquist, King of Bros, Black Dahlia, The Great Kazoo, Jessica Gamble, Ryan Wood, Kev C. Hoda, Ludacris, Archangel, John Q, Lois Antunes, Models, Darth Tater, Remy Satalia, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., JD Malgodino, Fuzzy Dunlop, Spectrumus, Hoot, Matt H., Mikey Hyde, No Flex, Ocularis, Craig Sterry, Seamus, Spike Jones, Two Ties. What's up, Two Ties? I met Two Ties. He actually has two ties. It's hilarious. It's great. Lauren Whatevs, our resident math expert in Marvel Snap, the Pirate King, Tuccrr, the homie Min, aka Rito, and Gunny T with a T stands for Throwback Thursday over at Gaming with Flash's X Twitch streams. And that's it, everybody. I appreciate y'all hanging out, spending some time with me as I stand in for Glazer. Hopefully I did a good job, and hopefully I will catch you guys doing this at some other time, right? Because why not? If you guys like it, let Glazer know. Say, hey, let's get Flash in there a little bit more often. Whatever. Let the man take his vacation in peace. Okay. All right. That's all. I appreciate y'all. Love you guys so much. Check me out at GamingwithFlashX across everything. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace.